Spivey, and I want to welcome you to the Connect podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you'll hit the like button and subscribe, maybe share with a friend if you're enjoying this weekly resource. So I know it might sound strange to say, but Job is actually one of my favorite people in the Bible. If you're familiar with Job's history, it's great loss, great grief, and ultimately great restoration. But for today, Job is in the middle. He's in between the loss in his life and the restoration. And today his friends come to visit. I was thinking about how long the dialogue between Job and his friends went on. Or maybe I should say how long Job allowed the diatribe against him to continue. It went on for chapters and chapters and chapters. And honestly, I don't know if I would have had the patience for that. I think I probably would have tapped out somewhere around chapter 2 and said, okay, that's enough. But Job didn't end the relationship with his friends. He stuck it out. And because he allowed them to have a front row seat to his struggles, they also got to witness his restoration. So what a gift that must have been for them to see the full circle of his life restored and redeemed. If you're in ministry, inviting trusted friends in, even trusted friends, can feel risky. Letting someone see your struggles, your in-between seasons, your in the middle times is scary, but it also positions you for greater restoration and depth. Job really could have walked away at the first word of criticism and no one would have blamed him, but he stayed. And that's hard, isn't it? Because oftentimes when confrontation comes, our first instinct is to run, to withdraw, to protect ourselves. And sometimes that instinct is the wrong one. So I want to pause here and I want to clarify. I'm talking about close friendships with like-minded, trusted people. So I'm not talking about every acquaintance or every coworker. I'm talking about the ones who have earned the privilege to speak truth into your life, and in turn, you have earned the privilege to speak truth into theirs. This is where the real beauty of friendship comes in. Proverbs 27:17 says, iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. That's what godly friendship is all about. Mutual growth, encouragement, and even correction. How about King David? He called correction from a friend a kindness. In Psalm 144:5, he says, let the righteous strike me. It will be a kindness. Let him rebuke me. It shall be as excellent oil. Let my head not refuse it. Friends, correction is not optional. When it's given and received well, it's a gift. And here's an important distinction. A difference of opinion does not mean disloyalty. It doesn't mean the friendship is broken. Often it can mean growth if we handle it with grace. I saw this a lot when I was serving as a pastor's wife. Friends would disagree, and instead of working through it, they let the difference of opinion drive a wedge. And sometimes I would think to myself, couldn't you just talk about it? Couldn't you just respect each other and move forward? Sometimes we can, but much too often we don't. Grace is required to give godly correction, and even more grace is required to receive it. Because if we allow a wedge to form over a correction, we also cut ourselves off from the wisdom and the growth that God intends for us. Proverbs 27:6 says, the wounds of a friend are faithful. Truth from a friend, even when it stings, is something to desire, not to fear. You can't be effective, E-F-F-C-T, effective in relationships without being affected, A-F-F-E-C-T. Let yourself feel all the feels, but don't let a godly relationship end unnecessarily. Don't shy away from connection just because confrontation may be uncomfortable. You can't lead, influence, or shepherd well without being changed yourself. So let the wounds of a friend be faithful in you. So I want to be honest here. Job's friends were definitely harder on him than they needed to be. There's a reason for that, and there's a grace for that. And I hate to leave you with a to be continued, but we're going to unpack the story of Job's friends more next week because they deserve their own conversation. So for now, maybe think about this. Sometimes you're the one in the middle, and sometimes it's your friend. Sometimes what's needed is simply presence. Someone to sit with you in the ashes and say, man, it's tough, isn't it? I love you and I'm praying. Do Do you need a pep talk? Because I've got one. Or do you need a quiet arm around your shoulder? Because I've got that too. Listen to the leading of the Holy Spirit and listen to the heart of your friend. And hopefully they'll do the same thing for you when you're the one in the middle. Learning that you can go through it and also grow through it together is a treasure. I'm praying for you, and I hope that you can have and maintain these kind of friendships in your life because they are a blessing. And remember, Job's friends, they're a whole other story. So we're going to dig into that next week and get a little bit more balance into the conversation. So I hope you'll stay with me. Thank you for listening today, friends. I'm sorry to leave you on a to be continued, but I'm glad that we can spend this time together. You can follow the blog at connectmentoringnetwork.org every Tuesday at 10 and a new podcast every Thursday here at 10. Thursday at 10 here on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're looking for a Christian mentor, I would be so honored to help you on your leadership or discipleship journey. Please reach out to me today, connectmentoringnetwork.org. Thanks again for being with me today, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you again soon.